Hi guys, it's Jacqueline from the Sunday Project. It's been a while since my last Photoshop tutorial, and seeing as how this is the month of love, I thought it would be fun to make a love-themed wallpaper for you. I'll give you the step-by-step breakdown on how I made this wallpaper so you can make your own and customize it to look exactly how you want it to look like. For example, you can use your own image, like a picture of you and someone that you love, or you could put in a quote that's meaningful to you. But if you can't be bothered to make your own, then I will also make this available for download on my website, thesundayproject.net, and I'll make a desktop and a mobile version for you so you can download it there for free if you want it. Now let's move on to the tutorial. Open up a new blank document. The size that I went with is 1856 pixels by 1151 pixels at 72 dpi. And on this document, go to File, then down to Place, and pop in the image that you want to use for your background. I'm using a photo that I took of this beautiful rose because it's just so pretty and girly, and I thought it fit well with the theme. Scale this up to fit your document, and while you do this, you want to hold down the Shift key as you drag, or click on this little link icon up here to constrain your proportions so it doesn't get all distorted. Then again, you want to go to File, Place, and I am going to use this marble countertop background. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I love this background because I use it for almost everything. So I just took a quick photo of this with my phone, which is why the color's a little funky, and I'm going to fix that by adding a curves adjustment layer on top of the marble layer. And you'll want to clip these two layers together. You can do that by clicking on this little icon down here, which means whatever adjustments you make will only affect the layer beneath it and not the image of the roses. So I'm not going to go in depth about how to color correct your image using curves because that would make this tutorial run super long. If you want a more detailed tutorial on that, leave me a comment saying so and I will make a separate tutorial specifically about that. Now selecting the elliptical marquee tool, hold down Shift and drag out a perfect circle right over your marble. And then you want to create a layer mask, and you can do that by clicking on the layer mask icon down here. See where it says Add Layer Mask. You want to make sure that this is centered onto your image, and you can do that by hitting Command A or Control A on a PC, and with the Move tool selected, click on this middle anchor button here, and that will automatically center whatever layer you have selected onto the middle of your document. Now let's add our text. So creating a new blank layer on top of everything, I am going to select the text tool by hitting the letter T on your keyboard, and then pick a font that you like, something that you're going to enjoy looking at for a long period of time. So I went with Full of Love, but you can type whatever you want here, and I'm going to center my text into the middle of this layer mask just like we did before. Control or Command click onto your text layer and that will load your layer as a selection. Now click on the layer mask icon next to your marble layer and hit Shift Delete Fill with Black to knock out that layer. It's looking a little hard to read, so what I'm going to do is selecting your image of the flowers from earlier, I'm going to add an adjustment layer on top of that, and I'm going to make it look matte. So I like to do that by adding a curves adjustment layer and clicking onto the center point sort of just to anchor it in place. Then click onto the bottom of the line and just drag that up like so. So play around with this, like drag it up and down to make it as dark or as light as you like. I'm also going to add a drop shadow on the marble layer just to make the text easier to read. So double click onto your marble layer and this layer style dialog box will pop up. Then click onto drop shadow and I am going to set the distance to 3 pixels and bump up the size. Oops, if you accidentally close it and you're not done like I have here, just double click on where it says drop shadow and that will open right back up. So back to drop shadow. Let's increase the size to make it easier to read, maybe about 20 pixels, and then let's lower the opacity so it's not so in your face. That looks good. So there you have it. Here's the finished image. If you make one for yourself, be sure to take a picture and tag me. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at JackAPhoto. And as I said in the beginning, I will make this file available for you to download for free on my website. So head on over to thesundayproject.net if you want a copy of this for yourself. I'll see you all next time. Bye!